as I already mentioned, like about Jesus and suffering, he learned the obedience. His own son needed to suffer to learn the obedience. It is a mystery to me that he needed to go through all of that. And it is an honor to share in his suffering. And probably Colossians, when Paul says, we now rejoice, we are continuing, he talks about it, continuing the suffering that Jesus started, and that is for the body of Christ, and that is a reason to rejoice. I mean, he put it, in different order. Let us rejoice. But how can we rejoice in suffering? But when you think that and I'm talking about this mysterious suffering, even though God can use any type of suffering to bring us closer to him and to meet with us. And as C.S. Lewis said, in the midst of suffering, suffering is a megaphone for a deaf world. That's how God uses to speak to us. I mean, you cannot ignore it. But what is there that we kind of share in common with Jesus? When we continue when we suffer, and for me, and in my life, when Hana was diagnosed with autism, our youngest daughter, we were in a ministry. We loved Jesus. We served him. We had quiet time. We were not unfaithful to each other. We were not unfaithful to God. We just, we did the Bible study. We did everything right. And how come this happened to us? And it kind of finds you really, well, first you're in shock. But actually, I really think that the reason that I could rejoice is because in the midst of my suffering, I can talk about his goodness and his love. And if I talk about his goodness and love, even when it hurts, I proclaim for who he is and how powerful he is. And if I do that, that is good for the body of Christ. And that is the reason to rejoice.